November 11, 2018, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA. Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones walks off the field after warm-ups against the Philadelphia Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field. Mandatory credit. Eric Hartline-USA Today Sports. Eric Hartline, Jerry Jones is head over heels that Odell Beckham Jr. is no longer in the NFC East. The Cowboys owner joined Fox Sports 1 on Saturday night before the Errol Spence-Mikey Garcia fight at it. "How do you feel about that?" Thank you, Jones said. At Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones is in the house. Jones joins the crew to talk. pic.twitter.com/040cat text, Fox Sports, PBC, @PBConFox, March 17, 2019. Beckham, of course, made his mark in the league against the Cowboys when he made his famous one-handed touchdown catch against Dallas on Sunday Night Football his rookie year in 2014. He had 35 catches for 477 yards and 5 touchdowns in 7 career games against the Cowboys, but now Dallas no longer has to worry about him. Jones kept it at that, and instead of taking any shots at the Giants, he instead praised the Browns. "I'm so behind the Browns owner Jimmy Haslam's and what they're doing there in Cleveland," Jones added. "When you're in a league you really want the competition to be there." New York Giants quarterback Eli Manning, 10, stands next to general manager Dave Gettleman during NFL football training camp, Wednesday, April 25, 2018, in East Rutherford, NJ. AP photo, Julio Cortez, AP. Dave Gettleman has made it clear he wants to find the Giants' quarterback of the future, and he seems intent on doing it sooner than later. But don't be so sure that he'll do it in the draft this year. Despite the fact that the Giants have 2 first-round picks, and are in good position at No. 6 to take one of the first quarterbacks available, multiple NFL sources caution that the Giants seem to have other things in mind. They are looking into all the first-round quarterbacks, and taking one is definitely a possibility, a team source said. September 9, 2018, East Rutherford, NJ, USA. New York Giants running back Saquon Barkley, 26, celebrates his touchdown against the Jacksonville Jaguars with offensive tackle Nate Solder, 76, and wide receiver Sterling Shepard, 87, during the fourth quarter at MetLife Stadium. The touchdown was the first of his NFL career. Mandatory credit. Brad Penner, USA Today Sports. Brad Penner. The Giants were 5-11 last year and missed the playoffs for the 6th time in 7 seasons, and now the consensus seems to be that things will only get worse. There's little hope outside the Meadowlands after GM Dave Gettleman tossed Odell Beckham Jr., Landon Collins and Olivier Vernon away. Yet Gettleman still thinks he can build a winner this season. Even new receiver Golden Tate insisted, "I don't think we're as far off as people may think." Pat Shurmur has pointed to the 12 games the Giants played last season which were decided by a touchdown or less, including 8 they lost, as a sign that it's a short leap to competitive football. Are they all delusional? Or is there really a chance the Giants could be good? January 5, 2019, Arlington, Texas, USA. Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson, 3, in action during an NFC wildcard playoff football game between the Cowboys and the Seahawks at it. Mandatory credit. Jerome Myron, USA Today Sports. Jerome Myron. Russell Wilson joined the Yankees on Friday in Tampa as a minor leaguer, but the topic of conversation remained focused on football, particularly New York Giants football. The Giants traded Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns last week, a move that surprised many around the league, including the Seahawks quarterback. December 10, 2017, Glendale, Arizona, USA. Arizona Cardinals defensive tackle Olsen Pierre, 72, sacks Tennessee Titans quarterback Marcus Mariota, 8, during the first half at University of Phoenix Stadium. Mandatory credit. Matt Cardozian, USA Today Sports. Matt Cardozian. The Giants have added yet another former Cardinal who played in James Bedger's defense. On Friday, the team announced it signed defensive tackle Olsen Pierre, who went undrafted in 2015 and didn't appear in an NFL game until 2017. He had 30 tackles, 5.5 sacks, 9 tackles for a loss and 9 QB hits across 14 games during that 2017 season when Bettcher was Arizona's defensive coordinator. Pierre had 12 tackles in 10 appearances last season. Dave Gettleman, mandatory credit, Danielle Parhiskaran, USA Today Sports, Danielle Parhiskaran, Ralph Vacchiano, Facebook, Twitter, archive. Just 15 months ago, the Giants hired Dave Gettleman to fix the franchise. He earned praise for a series of early house-cleaning moves. He seemed tough and honest, and it looked like he had a handle on the franchise's biggest problems. Now, suddenly, his new title is Embattled GM. New York Giants cornerback Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie, 41, defends against the Dallas Cowboys during an NFL football game, Sunday, September 10, 2017, in Arlington, Texas. AP photo, Michael Ainsworth. AP, another former Giants defensive back is heading to D.C. Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie is coming out of retirement to join Landon Collins with the Washington Redskins. Rodgers-Cromartie posted a picture of himself signing with the Redskins on Instagram, although the terms of the deal remain unclear. December 2, 2018, Foxborough, MA, USA, Minnesota Vikings tackle Mike Remmers, 74, at the line of scrimmage during the third quarter against the New England Patriots at Gillette Stadium. Mandatory credit, Greg M. Cooper, USA Today Sports, Greg M. Cooper. The Giants are meeting with offensive lineman Mike Remmers on Friday, and it is possible he could be the final piece of Big Blue's O-line puzzle. After trading for Kevin Zeidler, the Giants have shored up the entire offensive line with the exception of right tackle, which currently belongs to Chad Wheeler. Here's what you need to know about the 29-year-old, 6-year veteran, Remmers. January 14, 2018, Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA. Minnesota Vikings offensive lineman Mike Remmers, 74, celebrates after the game against the New Orleans Saints at U.S. Bank Stadium. Mandatory credit, Brad Rempel, USA Today Sports, Brad Rempel, Ralph Vacchiano, Facebook, Twitter, archive. The Giants have made far more headlines from the players they've lost than the players they've gained in free agency so far, whether it was from signings or trades. They entered the market with many holes to fill. And even after signing receiver Golden Tate and edge rusher Marcus Golden on Thursday night, they still have a bunch more to fill. Unfortunately for them, they don't have a lot of salary cap space to spend. But there are still a few players left on the market who could be a fit. Giants add veteran Golden Tate, 0 hours 0 minutes and 45 seconds. New York Giants add veteran receiver Golden Tate on a 4-year, $37.5 million deal. NFL insider Ralph Vacchiano discusses the signing. Ralph Vacchiano, Facebook, Twitter, archive. Buried at the bottom of the Giants press release announcing the big Odell Beckham Jr. trade on Wednesday, was a quote from GM Dave Gettleman about his off-season plan. "You can win while you build a roster," he said. And the deal he struck with receiver Golden Tate on Thursday is proof he's going to try. October 14, 2018, Minneapolis, Minnesota, USA. Arizona Cardinals defensive end Marcus Golden, 44, celebrates during the fourth quarter against the Minnesota Vikings at US Bank Stadium. Mandatory credit, Bryce Hamilgarn, USA Today Sports, Bryce Hamilgarn. After making the splash of signing W.R. Golden Tate on Thursday night, the Giants switched to defense and signed OLB Marcus Golden to a 1-year deal, SNY's Ralph Vacchiano confirmed. The Giants were in the market for an edge rusher after the Olivier Vernon trade to the Browns, and they're banking on Golden to be an immediate impact player in his place. He will be playing on a prove-it deal as his recent seasons warrant. Golden was a former second-round choice by the Cardinals back in 2015, and he totaled 4 sacks, 10 quarterback hits, and 30 combined tackles in 15 games that year. It was in 2016, though, that he broke out with 12.5 sacks, 51 combined tackles, and 22 quarterback hits. The Giants have already found a receiver to take Odell Beckham Jr.'s place, as veteran W.R. Golden Tate has agreed to a 4-year deal with Big Blue. CAA Football, who Tate is represented by, made the deal official with a Twitter announcement. Its deal is worth $37.5 million over the 4 years, with $23 million in guaranteed money, SNY's Ralph Vacchiano confirmed. Coming out to $9.375 million per season, that is slightly lower than Spotric's market value for Tate at $10.2 million. It was just yesterday that the Giants' shocking trade to send Beckham to the Browns was made official, but GM Dave Gettleman wasted no time finding his immediate replacement. He brings in a 9-year veteran with reliable hands, and the ability to run any route on the field. October 11, 2018, East Rutherford, NJ, USA, New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. 13, adjusts his helmet during the fourth quarter against the Philadelphia Eagles at MetLife Stadium. Mandatory credit, Brad Penner, USA Today Sports. Brad Penner: since the Giants made the shocking deal to send Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns, there have been mixed reviews from New York fans and NFL fans around the world. On one side, fans are upset to see Beckham, arguably a top 10 player in the league, off the Giants. But there are also the fans that are saying good riddance to no. 13, who they believe was a cancer to the team. Well, Beckham made sure to clarify the latter theory on Twitter with a little sarcasm. New York Giants Landon Collins, 21, returns an interception for a touchdown during the first half of a preseason NFL football game against the New York Jets Saturday, August 26, 2017, in East Rutherford, NJ. AP photo, Julio Cortez, AP. The Giants let Landon Collins walk, and now they'll be facing a motivated 3-time Pro Bowler twice each season through 2024. Collins, who signed a 6-year deal with the Redskins, with $45 million guaranteed, talked Thursday about facing his former team. "Yes, the game has circled on my calendar," Collins said during a radio appearance on 106.7 in Washington, D.C. Denny Medley, with Odell Beckham Jr. gone. The Giants are in need of help at wide receiver, and they have reached out to one potential replacement, reports Pat Leonard of the New York Daily News. According to Leonard, the Giants have reached out to the representatives for free agent Wr. Chris Hogan, who has spent the last 3 seasons with the Patriots after spending the first 4 years of his career with the Bills. The 30-year-old Hogan, who has gotten a lot of work in the slot but is more versatile than that, had 35 receptions for 532 yards and 3 touchdowns last season while playing 15 games. August 9, 2018, East Rutherford, NJ, USA, New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham, 13, during warm-up at MetLife Stadium. Mandatory credit, Noah K. Murray, USA Today Sports. Noah K. Murray. After brief comments on Wednesday, former Giants Wr. Odell Beckham Jr. was in full reflection mode on Thursday morning, the day after his shocking trade to the Browns became official. "So many mixed emotions and feelings," Beckham captioned his post on Instagram. "This is a lot to process, but it is reality. I don't know exactly what to say, so just gotta keep it real and short. I want to thank the NY Giants organization for giving me an opportunity to do what God put me on this earth to do. I want to thank the organization and the owners for everything, and especially giving me my first chance to be a part of the NFL. I want to thank everyone in that building, from the kitchen staff to my main man Jose. I love you guys dearly and always will. I gave you my all every Sunday." To fans, some happy, some not, "I just wanna thank you guys for making my experience in NY something I'll never forget." To the New Yorkers and real NYG fans, "You guys will always have a place in my heart, a beautiful city, a beautiful place. Thank you for every last moment and experience. Without them, I wouldn't be exactly who I am today. Love." August 12, 2016, East Rutherford, NJ, USA, Miami Dolphins wide receiver Jarvis Landry, 14, embraces New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham, 13, after the preseason game at MetLife Stadium. The Dolphins won, 27-10. Mandatory credit, Vincent Carcietta, USA Today Sports. Vincent Carcietta, as the shock and disbelief of the Giants Odell Beckham Jr. trade to the Browns wears off, it is time to dissect whether or not they got a good enough haul in return. The Giants gave up a top-3 wide receiver in his prime for a first- and third-round pick plus a young safety in Jabril Peppers. While Beckham may have been a headache for someone in the organization, was that enough of a return for a star wide receiver? Dave Gettleman, mandatory credit, Danielle Parhiskaran USA Today Sports, Danielle Parhiskaran, Odell Beckham Jr. and Olivier Vernon are officially Cleveland Browns, as the Giants' trades were made official when the new league year kicked off at 4 p.m. On Wednesday, Giants GM Dave Gettleman released an official statement about the trades by first wishing both former Giants nothing but the best as they move on with their careers. The New York Football Giants would like to thank Odell Beckham Jr. for his contributions, Gettleman said. We truly wish him well in Cleveland, and we want to wish OB the best and nothing but success for both of them. August 11, 2017, East Rutherford, NJ, USA, New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. 13, and Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Antonio Brown, 84, talked during the pregame warm-ups for their game at MetLife Stadium. Mandatory credit, Ed Mulholland USA Today Sports, Ed Mulholland. It is far from unprecedented that teams give up on talented players because of their personalities. This is often the case with wide receivers, who many carry a diva label, and apparently that was a major factor in why the Giants dealt Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns on Tuesday. Beckham often acted foolish at times on and off the field, and a source told SNY's Ralph Vacchiano that the Giants thought Beckham was a pain in the ass, and that the team wanted to move on from him before it became worse. October 22, 2018, Atlanta, Georgia, USA, New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham, 13, reacts after the offense was unable to convert a third down in the third quarter against the Atlanta Falcons at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Mandatory credit, Jason Getz USA Today Sports, Jason Getz. The biggest trade of the offseason has been made official, as the Browns announced former Giants WR Odell Beckham Jr. is headed to Cleveland. News broke on Tuesday night that the Giants front office decided to trade their star receiver to the Browns in exchange for the team's 2019 first-round pick No. 17 overall, and second third-round pick No. 95, as well as Jabril Peppers. Beckham, who SNY's Ralph Vacchiano heard from a source, was a little surprised to hear from GM Dave Gettleman that the deal was done, wrote an official statement to the Browns website to show his excitement for this next chapter in his career. Syndergaard becoming Browns fan? 0 hours 1 minute and 22 seconds. See what New York Mets pitcher Noah Syndergaard had to say when asked about Odell Beckham Jr. being traded to the Cleveland Browns. Noah Syndergaard saved his best fastball for after Wednesday's game. The flamethrower was asked following the Mets' 2-1 win against the Astros about his thoughts on the football Giants trading Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns. He's special. I don't know what the Giants are doing. We'll find out, Syndergaard said. October 11, 2018, East Rutherford, NJ, USA, New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. 13, leaves the field after a game against the Philadelphia Eagles at MetLife Stadium. Mandatory credit, Brad Penner USA Today Sports. Brad Penner, not even the guy who created Game of Thrones, could imagine such a thing so cruel. George R.R. Martin, author of the A Song of Ice and Fire series, is a New Jersey native, a big Jets and Giants fan, but he was completely taken aback when the Giants traded Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns in exchange for a first- and third-round draft pick and safety Jabril Peppers. Martin vented his frustrations in his blog on Wednesday, analyzing the Giants' rebuild. 0 hours 1 minute and 2 seconds after trading Odell Beckham Jr., the Giants look to be in rebuilding mode. But what part of the team will GM Dave Gettleman address first? The Giants are set to pay Eli Manning $16.5 million this season, and his salary cap hit is a robust $23.2 million. That seems excessive for a 38-year-old quarterback of a team that's shedding its stars and is clearly rebuilding for the future. But the Giants still plan to keep Manning for the 2019 season. And at the moment, it appears they'll be paying him all that money, too. The stunning trade of Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns on Tuesday did not alter any of those plans, multiple sources have told SNY. Manning is still expected to be the Giants' starting quarterback at the start of training camp, at the very least. And there is no indication at all that they'll attempt to cut his pay. September 30, 2018, East Rutherford, NJ, USA, New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr., 13, dances before a game against New Orleans Saints at MetLife Stadium. Mandatory credit, Brad Penner, USA Today Sports. Brad Penner. The reactions on social media to the Giants trading Odell Beckham Jr. to Cleveland were fast, furious and hilarious, as we've come to expect. Here are 10 of the best memes about the Beckham deal. Draft profile, QB Kyler Murray 0 hours 0 minutes and 46 seconds. Check out the highlights and the numbers from Oklahoma Sooners quarterback Kyler Murray, heading into the 2019 NFL Draft. Lee, with one franchise-altering move, the Giants went from a team hoping to compete for a playoff spot in 2019 to a team that might not play another meaningful game until 2021. And Vegas noticed, after trading Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns for the No. 17 pick in the draft, a third-round pick, and safety Jabril Peppers, the Giants' odds to win Super Bowl 54 dropped from 50/1 to 80/1. December 2, 2018, East Rutherford, NJ, USA, New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. 13, scores a touchdown against the Chicago Bears during the third quarter at MetLife Stadium. Mandatory credit, Brad Penner, USA Today Sports. Brad Penner. The Giants shook the NFL world and arguably set themselves back a few seasons Tuesday night when they traded Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns. On Wednesday morning, Beckham, who will be reunited with Jarvis Landry and be trading Eli Manning for Baker Mayfield, welcomed himself to the Browns. Click below to see. New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. reacts after missing a catch in the end zone during the fourth quarter against the Philadelphia Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field. Bill Stryker, USA Today Sports. Ralph Vacchiano, Facebook, Twitter, Archive. Dave Gettleman was telling the truth when he said the Giants didn't sign Odell Beckham Jr. to trade him. John Mara believed the receiver was a transcendent star the franchise could market and build around. Pat Shurmur, perhaps his greatest champion in the building, had worked overtime to build a relationship with the man he thought would be the linchpin of his offense. So what happened? How did everything go so wrong that the Giants were willing to ship Beckham away less than 7 months after giving him a 5-year, $90 million contract? New York Giants quarterback Eli Manning and wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. react in the second quarter against the San Francisco 49ers at Levi's Stadium. Lee, USA Today Sports. Ralph Vacchiano, Facebook, Twitter, Archive. The fallout from the Odell Beckham Jr. trade won't be clear until the Giants make their next move. It wasn't long ago they looked to be building around Beckham. Clearly they have now blown up that plan. So what's next? How can the Giants replace him? And what does this mean for their present and future? Here's a look at some of the ripple effects from one of the Giants' biggest deals in years. February 27, 2019, Indianapolis, Indiana, USA. New York Giants general manager Dave Gettleman speaks to the media during the 2019 NFL Combine at the Indianapolis Convention Center. Mandatory credit, Brian Spurlock, USA Today Sports. Brian Spurlock, Ralph Vacchiano, Facebook, Twitter, Archive. Dave Gettleman absolutely hates the word rebuild. Now, he has no choice but to use it. No matter how the Giants sell it in the coming days, that's what this franchise is undergoing right now, and likely for the foreseeable future. The stunning trade of Odell Beckham Jr. to the Cleveland Browns all but proves it. Gettleman, entering his second year as general manager, has now just about blown up whatever was left from the Jerry Reese era, and is rebuilding the Giants from relative scratch. In the last few days alone he's jettisoned 2 of his best defensive playmakers. Now the departure of Beckham, one of the NFL's top receivers, leaves the Giants barren on offense too. New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. reacts after missing a catch in the end zone during the fourth quarter against the Philadelphia Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field. Bill Stryker, USA Today Sports. The Giants' stunning trade of Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns on Tuesday night dominated social media and, naturally, the back pages of the New York tabloids. Beckham has graced the back pages plenty of times before, and he hits the trifecta on his way out of town with the New York Daily News, New York Post on Newsday, all making the Beckham trade the back page. Odell Beckham Jr. 13. Mandatory credit, Danielle Parhiskarin / NorthJersey.com via USA Today Network. Danielle Parhiskarin. Just before 8 p.m., news broke that the Giants had traded away their star receiver in Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns, a blockbuster deal that sent shockwaves through the NFL. It is hard to wrap one's head around this deal, considering Gettleman has repeatedly stated, "We didn't sign Odell to trade him, but the Giants were always listening, and they found a trade package that they were comfortable agreeing upon." In turn, SNY's Ralph Vacchiano, like the other reporters on the Giants beat, started to do some digging on the ramifications of the deal and to see what else they could find. Here's what we know about how this all went down, according to Vacchiano. Giants trade Beckham to Browns. 0 hours 0 minutes and 54 seconds. The New York Giants just traded Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns. Ralph Vacchiano and Mark Malusis discussed the deal and upcoming rebuild. Odell Beckham Jr. is no longer a Giant. The Giants traded the star wide receiver to the Cleveland Browns on Tuesday in exchange for the Browns' first-round pick No. 17 overall, their second third-round pick No. 96 overall, this year, plus safety Jabril Peppers, SNY's Ralph Vacchiano confirmed. As part of the trade, Vacchiano reports that the Giants and Browns are also flipping back the picks they exchanged in the Olivier Vernon trade, with the Giants getting a fourth-round pick No. 133, and Browns getting a fifth-round pick number 155. October 11, 2018, East Rutherford, NJ, USA. New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. 13, leaves the field after a game against the Philadelphia Eagles at MetLife Stadium. Mandatory credit, Brad Penner, USA Today Sports. Brad Penner, Odell Beckham Jr. has been traded to the Browns, and as one would expect, social media absolutely exploded after hearing about the biggest trade this offseason. The Giants traded away their star wide receiver in exchange for the Browns' No. 17 and No. 96 picks in the 2019 NFL Draft, as well as Jabril Peppers. And one certain Browns player was more than happy to see the move made. Click below to see the reactions. December 15, 2018, Denver, Colorado, USA. Cleveland Browns defensive back Jabril Peppers, 22, reacts in the fourth quarter against the Denver Broncos at Broncos Stadium at Mile High. Mandatory credit, Isaiah J. Downing, USA Today Sports. Isaiah J. Downing. The Giants sent shockwaves across the NFL on Tuesday by trading Odell Beckham Jr. to the Browns for a first and third-round pick plus safety Jabril Peppers. Here's what you need to know about the newest Giant: out with the young, in with the old. That is the case when it comes to the Giants' secondary this offseason. The team did not franchise tag former safety Landon Collins, who became a free agent and agreed to a 6-year deal that could be worth $84 million, $45 million guaranteed, with the division rival Redskins. On Tuesday, the Giants responded by signing veteran safety Antoine Bethea, who will be 35 when the 2019 season begins, to a 2-year contract, SNY's Ralph Vacchiano confirmed. The move helps assuage the loss of the 25-year-old Collins and adds experience to the back end of the defense. Zach Dossie, 51, mandatory credit, Isaiah J. Downing, USA Today Sports. Isaiah J. Downing. With free agency officially arriving Wednesday, the Giants are expected to be active on the market with several holes to fill on the roster. But on Tuesday, they shored up an important spot with a familiar face. Veteran long snapper Zach Dossie is set to re-sign with the Giants, according to the Daily News. Pat Leonard, keeping him with the only franchise